Hello and welcome to CRT Chat, the show where we get to talk to the media industry's rising stars. I'm Chris, joined with Reese and Tom as always, and in the studio with us today, please give it up for Capital FM radio presenter, JJ.
Pleasure to have you on the show today, JJ.
Thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
Let's kick things off. Were you always interested in radio from a young age?
Yeah, to be fair. My dad did a bit of local radio, my uncles did a bit of local radio as well, so it was kind of always around me and always found an interest in music, and I can't sing or play an instrument, so it was it's the only way in, to be fair.
Well, this is really a homecoming for you, JJ. For everyone that didn't know, JJ studied broadcast journalism here at the University of Bedfordshire. How was your time here, JJ?
It was good. I learnt a lot in terms of journalism, which was initially kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a sports journalist, so I found a way in there, and radio kind of just run parallel with it. And eventually radio took over and was kind of more of a career option than the journalism side. And yeah, I learnt a lot of skills here that will definitely help me out.
So you think it was essential that you came here to get to where you are today?
Definitely. I mean, the facilities that we have here are sort of above anything else in the local area. So it's kind of an easy decision to kind of stay local. And I knew the area, so I knew sort of the football club and things that would go on a little bit better than people that were kind of commuting or doing something different. So yeah, it was a good decision to stay, definitely.
Right, just a quick question for the audience. Do we have anyone who likes football in here today? Give us a little cheer. Well, JJ, back in the day, he was also a press assistant for Luton Town Football Club. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, that was really cool. So luckily I got a year where Luton did all right. So we was, well, not
Surprising.
amazing. Yeah, we were in the conference, so it wasn't amazing, but we had the FA Cup run the year that I was the press assistant. So I got to write a match report from Carrow Road. I went to Luton when they played Wolves at home. I did home and away games, and yeah, I learnt a lot off of Andrew Barringer, who was the press officer at the time, and it was just really cool, like getting to write about football and talk to footballers and just watch football, and then basically that's like your job. So that's pretty cool.
Speaking of Luton Town, our very own Chris here applied to be a safety steward.
Yeah?
No, I told
Didn't
you
get the
to say
job,
nothing
though.
about that.
He was told he's too small.
Yeah, but I'm going to the gym now, so
Yeah,
Need
of
to
course,
just
mate. Yeah, of course you are.
get
It'll
from all
come, it'll
sides.
come, it's fine, man.
From
Yeah, it's fine, man, it's fine. It'll come, it'll happen, don't worry about it.
Well, moving on. JJ, did you have any role models growing up?
Zane Lowe was my biggest role model in radio, because he's very passionate about music, and the whole focal point of everything he did was about the music and about the audience and how they'd engage with the music. And that, I think, for me, was kind of growing up. He'd almost tell you what your favourite song was before you knew what your favourite song was. He's just so passionate about it, and you can tell his energy is just very organic and just original, that's what he wants to do. And anyone that's passionate about what they do to the extent he was is definitely someone that like, you can look up to in any field. So yeah, definitely him.
Definitely. So JJ, growing up, how did your journey start? Did you do a bit of presenting on community radio or student radio?
Yeah, I mean, I was working at Luton Town at the time as the press assistant, and then I wanted to get into radio, so I went to Diverse, which is a local station in Luton, and I started doing a show on Diverse, and that kind of just got sort of more and more slots. I started presenting drive time and stuff, and then I went for the KISS Chosen One competition by KISS FM and got to the final 25 of that. To be fair, that was like just completely out of the blue. I was like, it was just one of those things where I was like, oh, I'll just give it a go, just see what happens. And I put together like an entry in about 20 minutes with a friend of mine, and got a wildcard entry and made the final 25. And then off the back of that, I stayed in contact. Didn't win the competition, but I stayed in contact with the producers and the bosses at KISS and did lots of demos. And then eventually they offered me a slot on KISS Fresh, which was that was kind of the next step.
Did you have a good time at KISS? Was it
really
enjoyable,
cool? Yeah, really cool. I learnt a lot, and I've made a lot of friends there, and still lots of people that I've got on really well since I've met them. So I still keep in contact with them, and yeah, that was obviously where my journey started. So I'll obviously always be grateful for the kind of the first door that was open for me. Definitely.
So now you're at Capital FM, and you've been there for almost 3 years now. What's it been like since you first joined?
It's been mad, to be fair. I mean, I started in Birmingham doing the weekend show, which was really cool. I'd been to Birmingham like twice in my life before I took the job up there. Yeah. And I'd only been up there to watch football matches and stuff, so it's a little bit like I knew the city from a footballing perspective but nothing else. So when I went up there, it was really cool. It was like just a fresh outlook on how to present, because I wasn't local, so I couldn't use that as a kind of way into to make yourself appealing kind of thing. So you needed to be a little bit more informed and a little bit maybe more clued up in what you were talking about. So it was a good learning curve to go up there, and the bosses were just really cool and just let me get on with it and encourage me. And
that's always helpful as well, isn't it?
massively.
Having
I mean,
support.
yeah, that's the biggest thing I think is always if someone believes in you to the extent they'll just let you get on and do what you want to do, then you've always got that backing, so you can just go and do it. And yet, yeah, since then it's kind of escalated, and I'm on the network now and doing shows across the UK, which is mental. And yeah, just having a large time really.
So you've worked on Kiss Fresh and Capital. What's been your highlight so far from working on the two stations?
I mean, easily for me, because I'm a football fan, we did the summertime ball from Wembley Stadium.
I was there.
Yeah, and I did the first show live from Wembley, which was like mental. And I got the moment where you go on stage and you do the "Hello Wembley" kind of thing, and it's just
That must have been so
Pretty
surreal.
big then.
it was crazy. It was like just wandering around the dressing rooms and like just wandering around an empty Wembley Stadium, and then when there's people there, just being able to go anywhere in Wembley and be like, this is like a tunnel that doesn't look like a tunnel anymore, but you know this is like the tunnel that Frank Lampard's walked down or David Beckham's walked down and stuff. It's just madness.
So you're live every week on Capital. I'm sure there's something that's maybe funny happened to you or slightly embarrassing whilst you're on air. Can you tell us about maybe something that's happened?
Spill the beans.
I don't know. To be fair, I think it's a good thing. Maybe it's not. But I think a lot of the time I like to be quite just like not really think too much about what I'm going to say or what's going to go on. I know roughly where I need to go and what I need to do, but just kind of enjoy the show and allow that to happen. Whereas sometimes that's good because good things happen, but then other times you'll close a link and you'll be like, I've just spoken about a trouser press on Capital, or like mentioned someone winning a speedboat, which is like never going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. So I think the worst things that have happened are just things like where you put the mic down and you've got no idea what you said, and it's like that didn't go well. That really didn't go well. But nothing. I've not gone off air yet, and I've not been sacked. So
That's good. That's always
everything
Always
else,
a good sign, isn't it?
everything else I'll take on the chin. Yeah.
What about in terms of like celebrity interviews? Because we know you've interviewed like Charlie Puth. How was that?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really, really nice. I think a lot of them are really down to earth. I know there will be some that aren't, but they're really down to earth and they know the drill. Like they come in to get interviewed, so they know what they're coming in for. So they want to get something out of the interview. So as long as they are and you're relaxed with them and just chat with them, then they're all right. I mean, I interviewed Dua Lipa and she was sort of just at the start where she started to kind of just go massive, really.
Yeah, she's blown up now.
Yeah, and she was awesome because she was she hadn't done too many interviews, so she was a little bit raw, and I hadn't done many myself either, so it was almost just a little bit like a chat.
Yeah.
And that was really cool because you get more when people aren't like media trained and they just want to chat, and everyone I've spoken to since has been like that. So it's been really cool, really cool.
So I've been looking through your Twitter feed,
Right.
and I've noticed you're a massive Chelsea fan.
I am, yeah.
Would you like to interview anyone in particular from down there? Anyone?
Anyone, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, Frank Lampard growing up was always like my hero. He's a legend.
Mine's Eden Hazard.
Hazard's he's balling at the moment. He'd
Yeah.
be right. I'd like a chat with Costa just to find out what's going on. But Conte as well, Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
He'd be
quality.
yeah, it'd be awesome to interview. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I was to interview a footballer, I'd probably pick like Ronaldo or something because I look quite similar to him. I think.
Yeah, I've been
Got a
told that
bit
as
of,
well. Don't you think I'm a bit
Portuguese.
like Ronaldo?
No,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Boys,
Reece,
maybe.
they're talking about fat Ronaldo when they're talking about you.
All right,
Hey, come on, boys.
That's savage. That.
I'll let him
anyways.
have that one. I'll let him have that one.
Anyway, let's carry on with this. Speaking about Twitter and football, we saw that you wrote a football article a couple of months back. Is that like a hobby of yours or something you'd like to continue maybe in the future?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, originally I wanted to be a sports journalist. I wanted to write about football and talk about football. And when I was at college, because I was at a local college, I did my final major project at a football magazine that was all about football. And then I used to, my lecturers here used to get a little bit fed up of me because I'd always just like Bagsy doing the sport whenever we had any assignment. I'd be like, I'll do the sport. So yeah, just when I've got a bit of free time or when something that I see in the news like really irritates me or annoys me, I think it's a good way to kind of express yourself, and as long as you maintain professional, because obviously I don't want to slag anyone off and one day meet and be like, oh, yeah, I called you something horrible. But yeah, it's been alright, and I do enjoy writing about football. We just want to get the time.
Well, JJ, unfortunately, that is all we've got time for. But just before you do head off, could you please let the audience know when they can next catch you on air?
I'm on air every Saturday night on Saturday Night Capital at 7 o'clock. and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. as well.
And how can they follow you on social media if they're interested?
I'm at _ it's JJ on Twitter and some variation on Instagram.
Wicked, thank you, mate.
Well,
You'll find it.
well, a big thank you to JJ for coming down to CRT Chat today. A big thank you to the audience and the viewers at home. And we'll see you next week for more CRT Chat. Got Sam Darlaston coming down. But till then, take care and have a nice.
Oh, we did it.